Folks, if you don't understand what we're talking about, the Federal Reserve is looking in the rearview mirror when they should be looking out the windshield. In fairness, this is not new. This is something the Fed has historically done. And frankly, we should just expect it. So what does that mean for us? Well, it means that the Fed will not cut rates in time to, quote unquote, save the economy. It also means when the Fed does start cutting, they probably will start with something greater than 25 basis points, folks. Yes, I suspect in the next 6 to 9 months, we will get a rate cut, and it will be at least 50 basis points. Folks, why are we having this very special, very unusual Saturday daily financial news? A couple of reasons. Let's be honest. One, I'm already set up to do something I don't normally do, and that is in school. At 8:30 this morning, I'm going inside my school community, and they are asking questions about Olivia and I's journey. We're looking at deals. We're just having a good time. So I figured if I'm going live in the school community, I might as well do the daily financial news. Second, we got a very important report yesterday on Friday that was full of, I don't want to quite say nonsense, but it was full of contradictions. How about that? Yeah, it was full of contradictions. And that, of course, was the May jobs report. So again, the market, right, the stock market, the bond market, it reacted as it should. In fact, if you watch the Friday wrap-up with Ty, I indicated if the jobs number came in hot, which it did, we would see a dramatic rise in interest rates. And we did, right? So we got that right. I know, like we have talked about for years, there's always a story behind the story, right? The public, the masses, they react to the jobs number, right? I think expectations were 180. It came in at like 272 or 262. Actually, I have the number. Why am I guessing? Where is it? 272. Big beat, massive beat. However, the unemployment rate went up. Now, of course, we need to remember that these Friday numbers come from two different surveys. There's the household survey and the establishment survey. All right, what the hell does that mean? The household survey basically is, hey, do you have a job? The household survey leads to the unemployment rate. And given that the unemployment rate went from 3.9 to 4%, what does that mean? That means more people don't have jobs. Now, we're going to get into this in more detail because it's a little more sophisticated than that, but that's the headline number. Then there is the establishment survey, which basically calls employers and say, how many people you got? Of course, when you're doing the establishment survey, you don't appreciate the level of double counting, right? In theory, if you work somewhere, part-time or full-time, it's not unreasonable to think that you might work somewhere else also. In fact, for much of my 20s, I held 2 jobs. Yes, I worked a day job, 40 to 50 hours a week, and then I worked 2 nights a week and the weekends somewhere else. So in that case, the establishment survey, I would be counted twice. However, if you called me, I would simply say I have a job. Got the difference? Okay. So let's talk about the reaction first, and then we will get into the numbers and why it is full of contradictions. So what happens now? Well, immediately when the headlines hit, you could vanish, give up any hopes of a July rate cut. We already knew June was out the window, right? The Fed meets on Wednesday, no chance of a rate cut. Now, July is gone. It's gone. Vamos, gone. Puts, nothing. No chance. In fact, I think it puts in great question for September. Why do I say that? Well, the reason September is A, it's the last meeting before the election. And I really hope that the Fed has the cojones to step up and not have election interference. We shall see. And second, I don't know that we have enough data between now and the September rate decision. We will get CPI on Wednesday. More on that later, probably tomorrow. I'll probably hold my CPI talk till tomorrow because this is not a non-scheduled daily financial news. Okay, so now we know what's going on because of the headline. We know what's going on with the Fed. Now let's get into the weeds a little bit. Let's get a little bit geeky. So inside the jobs report, there is something called the birth-death ratio. I want to make sure I get this right. Jobs report added. Did all this research, and I have so many notes. I have to find it. Excuse me. Oh, here it is. The birth-death model tweak. So, okay. Establishment survey. Jobs. There's something called the birth-death model, which makes sense, right? We're living longer, birth rates. You know, again, I get it. I understand why you have the model. But hey, let's not hide the fact that 80% of the 272,000 jobs created was a model adjustment. That was not reported nearly anywhere. What do I mean by that? The birth-death model tweak accounted for 231,000 of the 272. So if you strip out a model tweak, we actually only created 48,000 jobs. Again, I'm not done yet. We got more to talk about. But just that one tweak would have shown 48,000 jobs and would have been a massive miss. Think about that. We go from a massive beat to a massive miss just that quickly. Now, if you step back and you go even deeper, you realize we lost roughly 600,000 full-time jobs, and we added roughly 300,000 part-time jobs. Now, again, the establishment survey just says how many people employed. It doesn't talk about full-time, part-time. It should also be obvious that part-time jobs make less than full-time jobs, if it's not. And why is that important? Well, consumers need income. They need options to spend. And we have already seen a pretty significant pullback. So again, I think the jobs number of 272, it's going to cause the Fed to delay any decisions. It is going to cause the economy to continue to slow. And if we are not careful, we will slow right past a soft landing. The other thing that we have to appreciate and have to understand is that the stag and the inflation, again, which Jerome Powell said he doesn't see, he is going to come to regret that decision. Woo, that's going to be another transitory comment. I can see it coming. When you look at the jobs number on Friday, you also got wages. And again, as an economy that is made up predominantly by services, wages are a disproportionate part of the costs. Inside the wages, it was expected to go up 0.3 and something like 3.9. It went up 0.4 and 4.1. Do we have wage inflation? Is the spiral reigniting? These are all things that the jobs number on Friday was somewhere between contradictory and nonsense. I will let you decide where you want to be. All right, folks, more and more on this, what's going on in real estate. So, folks, hopefully you know by now, I am actively shopping for a rental property in Las Vegas. We're creating I call it a TV series. It's not on TV. It's a YouTube series called Buying Vegas. And one of the agents that I work with in Vegas texted me yesterday, shout out Joe D. Joe D, 30-year veteran of selling real estate in Vegas. And he told me, we now have a buyer strike in Las Vegas. In fact, the numbers for May were eye-popping. In May, inventory went from 1.4 months supply to 1.6. They saw inventory rise. I want to make sure I get this right. Inventory rose 19%. Oh, no, 8.7%. Sorry, folks, lots of numbers. 8.7%. However, median price also up. So again, you're hoping for price decline. Not yet. Median price up, inventory up, days, inventory monthly supply up. It's all weird. And the reason this is important for you, Again, Joe D, great investor, part of episode 1 in Buying Vegas. This is the second time in 30 years that May inventory increased. Interesting. Also followed up by talking with Ty. I want to actually read you a text. I had not planned for this, so I don't have it up yet. I'm going to pull up a text I got from Ty, our Friday guest. This is the attitude I want you to have. If you are a One Rental at a Time fan, I keep telling you, our time is coming. So I got this from Ty. I think the buyers have hit a threshold. Be nice to see some good deals, creative deals, subject to, as well as mediocre stuff, making offers for things with days on the market over 30. Fixer, cosmetic. This is again Ty. He's telling you, he's calling his shot. He's telling you the playbook. This is how I want you to think. I'm going to go to the multiple listings, MLS. I'm going to make 2 to 3 offers every day, 10 to 15 offers a week, and expect to get 2 to 3 deals out of the MLS. Keywords, probate, fixer, eviction, stuff like that. Folks, watch days on market. Only write great deals. Write disrespectful offers. Trust me, in the market we are going into, it's our time. We are going to find motivated sellers. If you don't know what we're talking about, it's a buy box, it's daily disciplines, tracking. It's all the things that are in my course. But this is the attitude. This is the, you know what? I'm going to strike while everybody's scared. I am going to go get my great deal. Ty, you're amazing. Joe D, thank you for the text. We are going to be working hard for Olivia and I to get our rental in Vegas with the same kind of vigor. Next up, I want to let you know, folks, if you are part of my school community, not only do you have an 8:30 today with me, a 9 a.m. tomorrow with Simon. And yes, folks, if you don't know, Greg Dickerson. Folks, if you are a fan of Greg Dickerson, he was on the show for 3 years straight every Monday at 8 a.m. He is coming back Monday, 8 a.m. inside school. If you have a question for Greg Dickerson, who, if you don't know who he is the entrepreneur. He is the real estate guy. He is the builder who just knows how to bob and weave and take advantage of opportunities. So if you've ever wanted to ask Greg some questions, join school, be a part of that. So 3 opportunities to interact via school already scheduled. And more importantly, a surprise gift to you. Bill Allen has just done a 3-day challenge where he's helping your kids this summer. How many of you have kids between the age of 10 and say 17? How many of them would you like to understand how they could make their own money? How they could go into the garage, how they can go into the attic and find something the family doesn't use and start to make some money. Bill Allen just did a 3-day challenge, taking hundreds of kids through that. He is giving it to you, the school community. Folks, if you want to help your kids understand money, I strongly suggest you join school, go through the 3-day challenge. It's about 90 minutes, right? So you have 3 different days. So let's call it 5 hours. Go through it with them. Make it a Saturday morning. Make it a Sunday morning thing. It's only 3 days. You're going to understand money. The kids are going to understand money. You are going to have conversation. That's what this freaking channel is about, is helping you understand that you control your future and your kids' future. The 3-day challenge would be thousands of dollars, but we are giving it to you for free. I just published it this morning. Go to the school, go to courses. It's right at the bottom, 3-day challenge. We're just trying to help, folks. Have some fun. Get in the money. Talk money with your kids. I strongly, strongly recommend it. What else do I want to talk about? Oh, Bloomberg. Oh my gosh. Bloomberg. Bloomberg wrote an article about exactly what I have been warning about for almost 2 years now. It is a shame that the big media missed it. Bloomberg wrote an article about fear of missing out, about easy money, about the charlatans raising money from LPs, putting them on bad deals with bridge debt. Folks, I keep telling you, this is going to be worse financially than the Great Recession. The banks took it on the chin in the last crisis. The LPs, are going to take it on the chin this time. If you read the article, I put it on Twitter or X. It is amazing. A lot of people think office is the problem. As I've said repeatedly, you're not paying attention. Office, generally speaking, are owned by major institutions who have huge equity positions, typically 40%, and the capital to pay it down. Multifamily is personal investors who got addicted to easy money. They're going to lose their ass. It's over. Their money's gone. And it is sad. For example, in 2021, $160 billion worth of multifamily traded, most of that with bridge debt, short-term IO. That was 3x the norm. In 2021, I was warning you. I have receipts. I was warning you not to do that. But it's too late. Short-term debt's coming due. Your operators were financial engineers, never true operators, and it is going to get ugly. It has just started. Yeah, crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. At the end of the day, folks, I want you to know one rental at a time. It's an amazing place to be. We got to have the right attitude. We got to have the right mindset. If you want to get around other people, it's time to join school. Something I've seen already in the school community is people are talking about deals. They're talking about their situation. This is not stuff I would ever put on YouTube or Facebook. But inside school, it's our community. We can put up our situation. I've had people talk about potentially buying a home, taking out seconds, doing 1031s. If you want to get in, you want to share your story, no better place to do it, our community. Ty, Jody, thank you very much. Bill Allen, thank you for being such a giver. I think this challenge you have with kids is amazing. And then lastly, folks, if you're in the school community, I will see you at 8:30 for a live Q&A. Take care, folks. Later.